in talking about spiritual work, there's some things I think about, that I should have said. One is when you get into it's like the energy of spiritual work keeps getting stronger and stronger. Finally, one decides to really go for the final run, you know what I'm saying? What that really consists of is a fixity of attention, a relentless staying with it. Let's see how I'm not expressing that correctly verbally. Some people say, well, I've done spiritual work on and off for 30 years and I'm still where I was. Well, they meditate a little there, they pray a little there, they go to a workshop there, they hear a speaker there, they read that. It's all sort of sporadic. Huh? That's all right when you have time. Let's say you're quite a bit in the world and you're accumulating data that you know you're going to use at a later date. Certain understandings, certain comprehensions come about. But then there comes a time when it means to do whatever practice you're doing without exception all the time. A very high state can arise in temporal time, rather brief, if one is committedly persistent. The devotion to the truth becomes overwhelming. The love for God pulls you. It isn't that you're driving it, it's now you're being pulled by your own destiny. By one's own karmic commitment, let's say. You've chosen the ultimate destiny. Now that begins to pull you and attract you. It isn't that you're being driven by it, it's that you're being pulled by it, because that's your destiny. My guess would be that's the destiny of everyone here, otherwise they wouldn't be here. Then comes a time for becoming really very serious about it. At that point, let's say you use the technique that I used the most, was surrendering and letting go everything at the very moment it arises, so that what arises in consciousness is like a wave. It's like 1/100th of a second it's coming, it peaks and then it leaves. So the letting go-ness is at the peak of it, so that one is constantly like floating over the waves. In other words, all these thoughts begin to arise and you intuit their intention of you, and you already released that intention, surrender everything to God. So this becomes continuous, non-stop.